issue of the trucks on the roads using rail as an alternative. Those are some of the things that we're about to discuss next. But Leanne, you will remember this report because I remember you and I discussing it. That report that listed Bloemfontein, Mangaung, as the most obese city in South Africa. So there's a health aspect when you take a look at transport as well, making sure that there are non-motorized means of transportation, perhaps walking or cycling. Someone is going to bring us up to speed with the whole province's perspective on that is the MEC for Police, Roads and Transport. He's MEC Butana Komphela. Very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Ayanda. Good morning to the listeners.
Let's discuss that, the aspect of perhaps creating infrastructure to allow for things like walking and things like cycling as an alternative. Are there plans to make this province a non-motorized province as much as possible?
We're working very well with our metro. Yesterday, I'm sure when you were just walking, you could see there's nice paving there and then pedestrian walking there. And then our taxi rank, where taxis are stopping and where this train is going to be. It's a walking distance of about 2 kilometers, 1 kilometer. So you are forced to walk there. And then everywhere where taxis are dropping people, there is a walking distance of about 500, 800 meters. So our friendly is beginning. Our city has become almost a walking city rather than a motorist city.
And that will go a long way to reducing the belt size, I think.
I'm sure, but you can see I'm going to have stomach out very soon.
His stomach out. MEC, but for those who have no choice but to use modes of transport, perhaps because of the distance between work and home, they're finding a lot of time that they're wasting a lot of money in having to use transportation. But you have now put in place a number of initiatives to make sure that there's safety on the roads with regards to taxis. I know behind us the 5 cars that you've donated to Santako because of the Hlokomela project. They're standing right there. There are another 5 vehicles that will ensure as well road safety. Speak to us about that.
There are 10 cars that we have given to Hlokomela. These 5 is the last group that I'm giving to Hlokomela, so that each region must have 2 vehicles, so that when we're saying we're taking the road safety, they must be there on the road. When I take their cars out of the road, they must be there to see what is happening there. And thank you to the National Department of Transport. Thank you to the SIP2 of the President, which said, I think there's a lot of carnage. There are almost 40,000 to 35,000 people that are taken by buses from Botshabelo, Tabanshu to work in the city in Bloemfontein. It's a huge carnage in the morning of long buses, and then you can't pass when you drive a car like mine, a Tez. You want to pass 2 buses. So it's a strenuous thing. So this bus train that is going to come there is going to be right in the middle of the city. Then we walk and exercise a little bit. It's something that is very pleasing. And if you want to get into the train again down to Lesotho, you will be able to do that. If you want to take a train with your 2 rand and your 4 rand, you go up to Kimberley. So this railway line that is between Bloemfontein, Kimberley and Lesotho has been a vibrant alternative mode of transport, safe for our people. And we are going back to that one, and then we say it was a mistake, that it must be disbanded, and now it has been revived. And thank you also to the CEO of the Transnet, Brian Milife, and many people that joined hands with us, that this dream of the people of the Free State, in particular the Mangaung Metro, must be realized.
That train that goes between Tabanshu and Bloemfontein, as you've mentioned, and various other areas, you did also allude to the fact that it was disbanded. There's now that resurgence of it. It's being revived. Are the people going to have faith once again in it? Have they become used to other modes of transport, buses or taxis? How are you going to inform them that there is an alternative? Have you begun that process?
We have done a huge campaign around the people, and it's the people themselves. We're saying that during the day, at times these buses are late, and when there is a taxi strike, these taxis are not taking us to work. So it will be a minimal way of the train strike. So let us bring this alternative method. But again, Ayanda, there were a number of people who died on a serious accident on this road. There is a bend there, the S bend there, when you come here. It was very serious, and then it was killing people. You can see now this railway line is cutting through. It's almost straight now, so that there must not be such a terrible S-bend. It's the people of the Free State, through our campaign, when I was interacting with them, they say, we bring back the train, bring back the train. So we're bringing back the train, and because we want to comply to their request, we want to honor them so that at least they are aware that an alternative method like train, a mode of transport like train, is cost effective, cheaper, but is more safer than a bus and a taxi. That is, again, the taxi people are going to be part of that train. They're going to get some shares there in that train, so that they must not just look at the train passing there. And that we have agreed with the Taxi Association in the Free State, that as and when they have a stake in that train, then we must reduce the number of buses, because you can't erode your own business by having a concurrent mode of transport. There should be taxis that are there and minimum buses, minimum taxis, but a huge number of people must be on the bus, on the train, so that that train must be viable.
And it's a very, very careful operation, because you do have to manage the fact that this is competition for the taxis and competition for the buses. So that integration, how do you plan on ensuring that there is synergy between the modes of transport? So if I hop onto the train, where I get off, is there going to be a bus waiting for me there? Is there going to be a taxi? That integration and that cohesion, speak to us about that.
This the rapid bus system that is going on Bloemfontein responds on that, so that when people are offloaded by the train, and there is buses that are waiting there and taxis that are waiting there to take people in the periphery of Botshabelo and Tabanshu. So there's that kind of a provision. And even when you go to the Free State University, when you land in the city, and then you are a student from Tabanshu or Botshabelo, you land at the taxi at the bus station. There are buses and taxis that are waiting here. The bus rapid transport in Mangaung Improvement City is going to take you up to the university. Then it's going to be easier also for people to do that. But the other disadvantage is that students now are no more going to walk into the city now, because the bus will just be there. But we're making for people that are going on work. There's a huge number of people that are working at the university, at the CUT, and also the Free State University, and they walk from that place, or they take the taxi that stops in the middle of the street. So we're trying to get on those things, but I think our integrated transport system in the Free State, in Mangaung in particular, is going to be something that at least will bring a relief to the road, bring a relief to the accident, bring a relief to the cost of our people.
I like the fact that it's going over and above Transport Month. So it's more than just this 1 month where you're focusing on initiatives, but you're carrying it forward. But I want to speak to you about something that my colleague Leanne has alluded to throughout the course of the show. It's a nationwide problem, the issue of trucks on the road. We do know that they cause damage on the roads, potholes, etc. But also they're a hazard to other motorists there during peak hour traffic, or when they break down, or when they do crash, like we have seen in Gauteng not too long ago. What is the province doing to make sure that they perhaps focus on goods trains as opposed to having trucks on the roads?
We're having now about 12 way bridges that we are putting in the Free State, including the portable way bridges that we are displaying today, that we bought, trying to get to check the trucks that are heavy load and then trucks that are not roadworthy. But again, I'm a proponent. I want to put this on record. I'm a proponent of a legislation that is going to stop trucks from 6 o'clock up until 6 o'clock the following day, because you can't drive to Bloemfontein for the whole day and even in the evening. Whereas in the evening they take chance, they are tired, and I'm a proponent of saying in the Free State, we want to lobby the Minister Dipuo Peterson. He's agreeing with us that I think in the Free State, when you get into the toll gate in Grasmere, stop there when it is 6 o'clock, you leave the following day at 6 o'clock, and lower motorists, they must be able to travel freely and go. When it's raining, you pass two trucks. The water it's just a mist there, you can't travel, and at night it's wet, it's worse, you don't even have a proper vision. So if we can manage to stop trucks driving at night, at least they must drive during the day where we see them, and then it will be better. But we are dealing with the trucks severely in the Free State. If the truck is not right, it's not negotiable, we take it to the pound, you pay 10,000 rand for taking that truck. We have taken them, you can go to Harry Smith. trucks were parking even on the driveway of citizens in Harrismith, and they were beating those people. When somebody stopped the car and go and wake up the driver who parked on the driveway, they beat that person. So we took almost all the trucks, there were almost 1,000, and now they have migrate up to Vrede. We are going to fetch them up there in Vrede. They must go away from the road.
MEC will have to leave it there for now, and I know a number of people agreeing with you on that particular proposed piece of legislation when it comes to the trucks. Thank you again for joining us. MEC Butana Komphela speaking to us about a number of issues. He's the Police, Road and Transport MEC in the province of the Free State. A quick ad break. Morning Live continues after this.